Hello to everyone once again. So, Sasha Starost from Black February initiative. Yeah. So, I'm going to present another initiative. So, I will present another initiative. It's a small initiative called the Black February. It's trying to support the anti-war prisoners in Russia. So it's a new initiative. It's a smaller new initiative. Hasn't been active such a long time, but and we are documenting the cases of people who are being targeted because of their anti-war views or activities. But I can tell also a bit history what has been happening with this initiative, because it's quite much describes the situation in the Russia in general. So Black February is a group of initiative group to support anti-war prisoners, and this we were formed in April. And originally this was a group to support artists from St. Petersburg, Sasha Starost. So we created a website about Sasha Starost, who is an artist from St. Petersburg. And for us, it was also important to tell about her activities before the war, to get to people know her better. So, and in the process of supporting Sasha Starost, we started to contact also other repressed people. And we decided that it's very important to document these cases and also write more about all of these people, because there is so much repression that individuals are often getting lost in the process, and we should kind of give them, tell people who are these people. So one of the problems that was for us important was the problem of unpopular political prisoners, because some activists are getting lots of attentions, and others are almost getting nothing. And Sasha Starost case, she was in prison because she was changing the labels in the shops to anti-war messages, and she was imprisoned for this. But there is a very similar case of other women who did the same things but got almost no actions. So we are trying to think models how to fight these kind of things, because it's partially the logic of the media, that they are get interested of some personalities and some other personalities are not so important for them, and we are trying to find the means to kind of combat this logic. And so it's now our task is to give more attention to these so-called unpopular cases, and also to inform in the area of new laws, and to find consolidate the support for political prisoners. And we are checking this information and using it. So a couple of words how we differ from all the other initiatives. So we are a small initiative. We don't have a big number of lawyers, like for example OVD Info is having. So like OVD Info is having. So when people are contacting us, we can only only provide them with just a few lawyers. But we have a working relationship with OVD Info, which is supporting us, and we are sending them cases of people who are contacting us. But we are the first initiative in Russia who tries to gather all of these cases to one site. And also bigger initiatives like OVD Info, they are often using our website. But also we cannot take all the possible cases of political repression, but we are only concentrating on the anti-war cases that started after Russian attack against Ukraine. So, and we are not only just gathering these cases, but we are also publishing some brochures and also online cards that can also be spread by other initiatives. We also paid some attention to situation of prisoners who are in the especially vulnerable position, because Sasha Starost had some medical issues or health issues. So we also made some materials for people who have friends or relatives in the similar kind of situation, what they can do if they end up to prison with some special health conditions. So it was when we were working on this case, we learned that we don't actually have, before we didn't have any lawyers who could take care of the prisoners with this kind of special medical conditions. And we had to specially gather this kind of information and find this kind of lawyers for the other cases when people with serious health issues end up in prison. And also the same with kind of physical condition. It also goes to the different psychiatric issues or issues of mental health that people might have when going to prison, and this is something I was also much involved before. We were even before this Black February initiative, we were spreading information what to do if you are, for example, been arrested in the meetings with some mental health issues. And so our website is in 2 languages. So we also try to spread this information abroad. And also another aspect is that we try to get also spread information about various Russian laws and how to kind of navigate in this legal environment, which is becoming more difficult. Besides this, we are also running a support group for people who have been suffering for repressive laws, and about this initiative I will tell a bit later. So now I will tell a bit about what happened with the initiative. So originally we had like 2 coordinators. It was me and my partner, but besides this we had about 60 volunteers who were doing various kind of tasks. And so, but what happened, like it happened with many projects, that there was a criminal investigation opened against my colleague, and because of this I also had to release all the volunteers because they could also end up in problem, like these people were working in Russia. So there was some period that I was working completely alone on the project, which was difficult, but now I have some new activists who are helping in this, but still it's not very many people. We have just a few people. We are working on the website and in the Telegram channel, and it's always a problem with this kind of small project that there is always lack of people and time to do them. But so then also a couple of words about this problem of so-called unpopular political prisoners and why there is this kind of problem in Russia and what's happening with it. So there is a certain kind of strange dynamic between civil society and art community and activist community and the states, that often if the criminal cases often make activists and artists even some sort of stars, and more serious the charges, the more bigger is the fame. And also if some person who is going to prison already has some sort of artist background, it's the case will be even more attention. And from this it starts kind of media engine, which is like self-maintaining, that if your name is already known, the media is amplifying it even more and more. And especially if you are already some sort of artist which has some sort of name, you will be a very known media personality. So in this case, if someone is already known, the media is making even more and more known, and it's kind of a chain reaction to just to give all the attention to some people and nothing to some others. And of course this media attention is kind of a protection. Also that if you are a known person, it's less likely that there is some sort of completely outrageous problems in prison. And one of the problem is also that the Russian society is very atomized and there is not any much of kind of a community. Yeah, and also the country is very huge, and areas are not so well connected with each other. and many things that are happening in very far away places we don't even know, and often you more or less maybe know what's happening in Moscow and St. Petersburg, but what is happening in the rest of the country sometimes not even any idea. And the repression in the peripheric places, they have always been even like more serious than in Moscow and St. Petersburg, and they also started much more early, already before the Crimean annexation. And what is happening in these places, it's sometimes very hard to know. So, and because of this, for us and also other activist collective, we have a task of kind of redistributing of the media resource. And this whole media space is quite complicated, especially from some random person. And with people who are accused of the anti-war cases, there are all the kinds of people. There are like doctors, and there are teachers, and just random people, and for them it's very hard to be heard and get attention. And because of this, it's important to document all of these cases, because there is, in these repressions, they also have kind of planned aspect of randomization. And this is also because the state simply they don't have resources to have such full-blown repressive machine as in the Stalin's time in 1937. They cannot just repress everyone who is anti-war. But what state is then doing, that they are like randomly picking up people from all the fields of life, like known people, unknown people, like some from all the kind of classes and professions and cities, so that there is a general impression that whoever can be repressed for whatever, and this is just a method to spread terror and fear in the population. And so this is why it's important to gather all of these kind of cases, because right now we have like answering machine in Telegram, where people are writing stories, and some of these cases they were never in the media in the first place. So only way to know information about these cases is through us. And this way we also try to create community, because we are just like grassroots activists, and also these people who write to us, they are just average people, and we are trying to create some common community. Yeah, in the end I would say about our support group just a couple of words, and I guess yeah, this is will be everything from me. So in the end of the last year, we launched a group of support group of those who have suffered from the political repressions in Russia. And these people who have been suffering from repression, we take a very large definition. It's not only people who have been arrested and fined in demonstration, but also it's, for example, relatives and friends of activists, and also people who are politically active and who haven't faced any repressions yet, but they are just in the constant fear and stress because of this situation, and have some mental health problems because of this. Yeah, so we last of this kind of event we organized before the new year, and one of the people who came there is the wife of academic Zavyavlo, who is just one more person who has been accused of these actions of changing labels in the shops. Yeah, so this group is basically, it's like the activities are led by a specialist psychotherapist. I'm just curating this group. Yeah. So yeah, this is regularly gathering, and I'm continuing this group. And thanks for the attention. If you have some questions, you can now ask them.
So yes, thank you. This is very interesting. I would like to know a little bit a kind of results your work is producing. Like, do people get more lenient sentences, or what happens when they get psychological help? How does that help them?
So some people are being happy or content, like who have been there, but in general, of course, the group hasn't worked long time, and this is a group therapy session. It usually needs longer time to be active. And also I must say that this for people who are feeling like really bad and who are really seriously traumatized, we say that this group therapy is probably not the right thing, and we ask them to go to help doctors help. But in general, it takes some time to see for this kind of mechanism to work. Do we have other questions or comments? На русском тоже
Можно я
можно?
написала быстренько дополню?
Да, хорошо, да.
Okay, so I actually heard part of your question, so I think you can answer myself in regards to the support
Yeah.
group. Like I said, the support group is in no way an alternative to an actual to the doctor. So have someone who we suspect is probably in a psychotic state. Of course, we will not recommend a person to attend support groups. I think these kinds of people should go directly to psychiatrists and make appointments, have an actual talk. In regards to our group, we have only launched it like a couple of weeks ago. We have only had a couple of meetings, so it's very hard to say at this point whether there's like some huge result. But I think it's also important to remember that like support groups are made specifically to create community and a safe space for people to talk about their traumas and to talk and to bond with other people with common experience. And in this regard, the visitors, those who attend the group, they're very much happy with the results because they at least have community to talk about the things that they otherwise don't want to talk to. I guess that's clear.
Thank you.
Any more questions or comments? Yeah, I think yeah, maybe if there is no more comments, we can say thank you for Sasha for these introductions, and we stopped actually a bit more early, but dinner is planned to be at 6:30 in Ulrika, and we also plan to write some support letters also to prisoners mentioned by Sasha in her talk. And at this point, I also have to say that unfortunately tomorrow Alexander Belov was supposed to talk about anti-militarist struggles and helping of consensus objectors, but he got sick and couldn't come. So we are quite certainly there will not be program in Orange tomorrow, but we will have an after party in Ulrika at 8 o'clock in the evening. Анонсировать позже. Спасибо всем.
Спасибо. Thank
Да.
you very much.
Yes.
До свидания.